How are we doing, guys? Welcome to the video. I know I'm in a Swedish kit. Apologies. I looked at my wardrobe and I thought I've been wearing my England kit yesterday, and I thought, no, I'm going to take it off because I look like a scruff. So I put the Swedish kit on. I don't know why. I like the Swedish kit pretty much, and it might be because they're playing tonight. I don't know, but yeah. So that's just why the Swedish kit's on. I don't want people to think, why is this Swedish guy talking with a really good English accent on England and Croatia? But no, it's um, It's there's no reason for it. So just ignore it. Just ignore it. Anyway, let's get to the game. I think a lot of us questioned the initial lineup. Trippier at left back, Tyrone Mings starting, um, Phillips and Rice starting, Sterling over Sancho, and Sancho not even in the 23. Also Chilwell, by the way, not in the 23 after just winning the Champions League. I mean, we can't say anything bad because we won. So at the moment, it looks like it's a Gareth Southgate masterclass. I don't agree with it. I don't think it is. I just think Croatia were really poor, really poor. We gave them plenty of the ball after we went 1-0 up for the last half an hour, and they did nothing with it. Nothing with it. Like, we've just won the first game. Everyone's happy. I don't want to be that doom and gloom guy. I don't want to be it. It's not me. But I still have massive reservations when we get into the knockout stage against good teams. I just think we're going to get picked apart quite easily. Like I said, I hope not. But I can't see anything different. I don't think we played that well. We did what we needed to do, which is fine. I wanted a really tough test because then I thought that will set our stall out, right? It'll be, we play Croatia. It's a really tough, intense, competitive match, and then we sort of that's our standard now, rather than there, and then a team up there surprises us when we get into the quarters. I was thinking, hopefully, Croatia come out all guns blazing, and then we're just there, right at the start. We know what to expect, and then we beat the other teams that are worse than Croatia quite simply. But yeah, they were really bad. I don't know if it's because the team was already quite old in 2018 in the World Cup, and now they're obviously 3 years older, so they're obviously 3 years older. But they just lacked. I mean, maybe it is that because they lacked energy, they lacked power, they lacked pace. They just lacked youth. I suppose, yeah, they just looked old. I think that's all right in midfield because you can look old in midfield. You can dictate games in midfield if you're an older player. That's no problem. But if your front three are lacking in dynamism and power and pace, then you can only get so far. You have to have a ridiculous midfield if your strike force is slow, and they didn't have that. So I just think it's going to lull a lot of people into a false sense of, oh wow, we just beat Croatia, who got to the final. And the guys that, like, for example, Mings, I don't think is good enough, but he did all right. Again, I think he comes up against a better team, he gets exposed, but he did all right. So fair play, did what he needed to do. Trippier did all right at left back, nothing spectacular, but he's not left-footed, so all he could do when he got the ball is come back and pass to the centre back or a long ball down the line. It's not his fault. That's just his job. He has to play there. Calvin Phillips was excellent, the best player in the team. I really rate Calvin Phillips. I always have done, to be honest. I think he's better than Rice. I always have thought he's better than Rice. I think it's just his energy. But as he showed, when he also gets on the ball, like, not just his energy off it, but once he gets on the ball, he's actually a pretty accomplished player. Like, a lot better than people think he is. But yeah, it was a good move. To be fair, that was a good move by Gareth, putting Mason Mount and Calvin Phillips for their pressing either side of a sitter. That was a good move. I'll give him credit for that. Against a good midfield. That I enjoyed. I thought that was a good thing he did. So as much as I'm not a fan of him, I'm gonna give him credit when he did something well, and he did. That was a good move. Phil Foden on the wing. He sort of has to play on the wing in that system because he can't play centrally because of just what I've just mentioned. But he sort of went quiet, and I think that's because he was out wide. I think the first 20 minutes we were brilliant. We were high pressing, we were full of energy, we didn't know what to do. They couldn't get out. And then we sort of, I don't know if it was they grew into the game or we just sort of stepped off the gas a bit. But then the last 20 minutes of the second half was just sort of even. Nobody really created anything. Quite boring. And we scored in the 57th minute, I think, with Sterling. And then after that, we just let them have the ball. We sort of got in the mindset of, well, we've scored. It's fine now. But I think if you do that versus Germany and you do that versus France, they've got players like Toni Kroos, Kimmich, Pogba, Griezmann, Benzema. They've got just a plethora. Kimmich, like I don't know if I mentioned Kimmich just then. I think I did. Kimmich, Kroos, Thomas Muller. That's what I meant. Thomas Muller. They've just got like a plethora of players all throughout their midfield and forwards that, if you sit back, they will just pick you off. I mean, they do that for club and country all year, right? They literally play against deep lines all season for their clubs because they play for the best clubs, and they do it for France because they play for and Germany because they're the best nations. So they're used to it. So if you sit back against those guys, the way to beat Germany and France is to literally just fight fire with fire and play like the first 15, 20 minutes. That is the way to beat them. But I don't think we will. I think we'll revert to type, and it'll be, if we do manage to beat them, it'll be lucky and we'll hang on. But I think we'll just be under an absolute barrage of attacks, and I think they'll eventually score because they're that good. Again, I hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case. But that's what I see. So I'm going to say what I see and what I feel. And if you don't agree with it, absolutely fine. That's when it's opinion. But please let me know in the comments if you think anything different. I've just watched the Czech Republic Scotland game, and Scotland were the better team, I thought. Two brilliant goals by Patrick Schick. The second one is just like probably the best goal you'll see maybe all year. And I think Croatia will deal with those two teams for the simple fact that Czech Republic were quite average, and I think Scotland didn't shut Schick down, didn't get close enough to him, didn't affect his game enough. For the header, they've got to do better than that. It's a good header, but he gets too much of a clean contact. Even though he's going backwards, he gets too much of a clean contact. And we all know he's good in the air. And for the second goal, I mean, you can't really do too much against that, but you've got to take your chances if you're Scotland. And I think that's the reason why I think Croatia and England beat both Scotland and Czech Republic. I think England will take the chances when Scotland miss them, because Scotland will get chances against both England and Croatia. But they don't seem to take them, and that's why they'll lose. In my opinion. Like, it's not guaranteed, is it? They could win both games, but that's what I think. And I sat there watching the Scotland game. I live streamed it on YouTube, actually, if you want to check it out. It's like I'm doing watch-alongs all the way through the Euros, basically. So if you want to get involved in those, if you sat at home maybe on your own and you want a bit of company while you're watching the games, or a bit of interaction, discussion around the matches, I'm live streaming most of the YouTube game on the YouTube, most of the games. I'm doing Spain at 8 PM, so if you want to come through and catch that, just basically all you got to do really is just click subscribe, click the bell, so it like gives you notifications, and then whatever device you've got linked up to your YouTube channel, it will say I'm live, and then you click on it, and there we are, and we can watch the match together basically. But yeah, back to the game. I can't think of any, apart from the goal, apart from when we hit the post with Phil Foden. I can't remember too many other chances. I mean, Croatia didn't create any chances. I can't remember one point where we were like, "Oh my God, they might score." Like, they were just so limp, so poor. But I don't think we created much either. So I think, like I said, a lot of people have been lulled into a false sense of security with that. I can't say too much. Like, there's not much to say. It wasn't a very exciting game. I'm a bit worried that he's not played Jack Grealish at all. I'm a bit worried by that. I mean, I called it in my Twitch chat. I said he won't play Jack Grealish. And in my head, when I said it, I was like 75% confident. The other 25% of me was thinking, there's no way you can drop him. right? I think all the nation thought it. There's no way you can drop him. But I have this feeling that he's got his favourites. He's got the favourites that he knows he can trust. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think those favourites have got a limit. They've got a ceiling. And in the bigger games, the better teams, I think you need to break that ceiling to win the games. But I think we'll do the tried and trusted methods against the bigger teams, and I think that's where we'll come unstuck because they've got too much quality. And our quality in Jack Grealish is on the bench. A proper left back's needed against big teams as well, so we can get out that way. It's an out when they're pressing us in. The left back. I've played left back as a left footer. I played that. I played centre back. I played left back, and I played right back as well, like in injury crises. But it's so hard when you're playing right back with your left foot, because when someone gives you the ball, the centre back gives you the ball, and it's coming across your body. You're just not as confident when it's there, rather than when it comes across here. You can sort of like bend the ball down the wing, or you can pass it and run and get 1-2. You just don't feel as confident. Like, you might be able to play that pass down the wing because my right foot's not bad and Trippier's left foot's not bad. He's a professional footballer, but you just don't feel as confident. That's the difference. There's a difference between being able to do something and the confidence to be able to try it, and that's what I think he's not got. And I get it. He doesn't play left back. He plays right back for Atletico Madrid. He's one of their best players this season. I think. It's like Oblak, Llorente, maybe Carrasco was really good, and Trippier was also up there as well. Obviously Suarez. I mean, they've all had a good season. Let's be honest, they've just won the league, but he's one of their better players, one of their most consistent players. But he plays at right back, so it's not going to be the same. People think it's the same, but it's really not. And yeah, like I said, I give Gareth props for the midfield thought, for the thinking behind that. The Phillips and Mount energy there to get on top of their midfield, because they've a very good midfield. But I think it was a poor performance from Croatia, and we did what we needed to do, which is fine. But we're going to need to do more than that in the quarterfinals. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I'll come back to this video if you want, and I'll say I'm wrong. But that's what I think is going to happen. And I can only say what I think, right? I can't come on here and hit record and say things that I don't think or feel, because that's fake, right? I don't want to be a sheep. So let me know what you guys think, because I'm always interested. I say every video, but I really am interested in what you guys think. I like to talk football with people because I like to open my mind. I like to expand what I think and certain things. So yeah, please let me know what you think. And as always, hit the subscribe button, because apparently when I've gone onto my analytics, 50% of you guys aren't subscribed. 50% of the viewers aren't subscribed. So please sort that out for me. Can we make it 60%, 70%? That would be nice. So yeah, guys, until 8 p.m. tonight, we'll be live streaming the Spanish game. And then I don't know when the next video is going to be. It'll probably be the next couple of days. I'm not going to leave it any longer than 3 or 4 days for uploads, so don't worry about that. So yeah, goodbye, guys.